Okay? Now, I want you to think about the severity of this man's condition, how serious it is, and how it's almost scientifically impossible, medically impossible to reverse this condition. All right? This man is now interacting with Jesus Christ himself, and Jesus understands immediately what is going on here. Now, as the Bible records this, in verse 2 of John chapter 9, the Bible lets us know, it says, and his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, neither have this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. Now, you realize there's different reasons why people get sick. In this case, he was sick for the what? For God's glory. Right? For God's glory. There's nothing wrong that he has done per se. He was just sick for the glory of God. And there's instances like that in the Bible. Are you with me so far? Now, most of the time, we are sick as a result of our own choices. You can also find this in the book called Ministry of Healing, the chapter on natural, the use of remedies. I'm going to go right there really quickly. I believe it's on page 199 in this book. The original pagination, it might be on page 231. It says, disease never comes without a cause, right? It says, chapter 17, Ministry of Healing, disease never comes without a cause. The way is prepared and disease invited by disregard of the laws of health. So we can also invite disease. Anybody ever invite somebody for dinner before, or for lunch? You invite people to church, right? You can also invite diabetes to sup with you. Are you with me so far? You can invite it by the choices that we make, right? So we see another instance to how, persons can get sick as a result of choices that we make, okay? Violation of the laws of health. Now, going back to the story here, looking at a man that was born blind, serious problem, serious condition, terminal. And the Bible also continue and say here, Jesus said, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, in verse 4. Then I cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Verse 6. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground. Now, something really weird is happening here. Strange, okay? Compared to the other scenarios in the Bible, the other stories in the Gospels. Are you with me so far? Now, you understand different stories, like we've heard many stories of healing in the Bible, where the woman with the issue of blood, right? She did what? She touched the hem of his garment. She was made whole, right? You see another instance with the paralytic, the man that was sick for about how many years? Like 38 years, right? By the pull of the, right? What problem he had? Now, Jesus told him to do what? Go wash, right? Also remember the man that was the centurion. The centurion and his servant was sick, and the centurion told Jesus to do what? Speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. Right? So you see instances where people are either reaching out to Jesus, he's either giving them instruction to do something, or you can see here again with the instances where there is a man that is paralyzed, and there's 4 friends that brought him over to the rooftop and opened up the rooftop to Jesus, and so forth, right? Where Jesus will touch people, he will speak words and so forth, and people will be healed. But in this case, in the Bible, in John chapter 9, something different is occurring. He's not saying, go walk. He didn't just touch this man's face and his eyes, and this man was able to see. Notice what Jesus began to do here in John chapter 9 and verse 6. It says that when he had spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle. Notice that Jesus is now interacting with matter, with resource from the earth, okay? Using clay and combining that with spit, he made a spittle of that. So in other words, he formed something. He made what is called like a poultice. And he applied it on the eyes of the man that was born blind, okay? Now, when you think about that for a moment, Jesus is now resorting to what is called a natural remedy. He could have done everything else to heal this man. He could have just spoken. He could have just touched him. But he used something natural. My question to you is why? Why would he choose to do that in that scenario? Anyone? Okay. He knows it will be applicable for us today. That's a very good answer. Anybody else? It was a practical demonstration for us today. He knows that. Anybody else?
Because the Bible says that this man was blind before the birth. So
Yeah.
demonstrate that he is the God. You say who he is.
Right, so demonstrating the power of God, demonstrating God's glory, right, in this instance. And you realize how complicated is clay? Anybody? If you saw a man that was blind, any nurses in here? No? If you saw anybody who's blind, a man that was born blind, and he saw a doctor taking clay and putting it on his eyes, you think that man is a little bit off in his brain. Something's wrong. He got a loose screw somewhere, right? Notice that in this scenario, Jesus is using something so simple because he's about to marvel others and glorify his Father. Now, anybody have any other reasons why you think Jesus resorted to this form or this modality of healing?
Well, I'm thinking of sin back in Eden.
Okay.
He was talking about the trees and everything.
Yes.
But